Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Starry Tarot. Good to see you today. For those of you who are new here, welcome, and thank you for your subscription. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. It is wonderful to see you. My name is Sophie. I am your friendly tarot reader for today. All of my donation information can be found pinned at the top of the chat, as well as throughout the chat itself and in the information for the live stream itself. I have three menu options, basic menu options. The first is a mini reading. That is consists of one question, 5 cards, and that is $7.77. If you donate using Venmo, Cashapp, or PayPal, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $9.99. I also offer a full reading, which consists of 10 cards, and that can be one 10-card question, or it can be split into two 5-card questions. And that is $14.14, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $20.20. And then I also offer an expanded reading, which consists of 15 cards. Again, that can be done with just one full deep dive reading, or it can be split into two questions, one 10-card, one 5-card, or we can split it into three 5-card readings. And that is $21.21, unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $29.29. And yes, I can answer any of your questions with the exception of medical and or legal questions. Please consult a professional in those fields if that is a question that you have that is pertaining to you. Today I am using one of my oldest tarot decks, the Modern Witch Tarot deck. It is absolutely gorgeous. I will always love you. I will always love this deck. It is so beautiful. So I can answer any of your questions. As I mentioned, I answer a lot of love and romance readings. I answer a lot of spirituality questions, a lot of questions pertaining to interpersonal connections, career, finance, you name it, I can answer it, so long as it is not medical and or legal. And I have a few special menu options, reading suggestions for you to choose from, in addition to just general questions. First, I am a psychic medium. I can communicate with those who have passed on. If that is something that you are interested in, please let me know before sending your donation. I do need their name and their date of birth, their date of passing, and their relation to you. That enables me to get into contact with them. And it's super duper helpful if you can send a photograph of them, but it's not mandatory. But if you needed to do that, you could send it to me over my Instagram or over my email or over to my email address. And my Instagram, you guys should all go follow, which is just right here. And as I mentioned earlier, I answer a lot of romance questions, and a lot of spiritual questions. And I think the best combination of the two that I offer is definitely my soulmate confirmation reading. I highly recommend this for someone who, if there's someone who is currently in your life right now, and things are growing, things are developing, but there's still some questions as to the longevity of things, the probability of things, the meaning for the person, or the reason for the person being in your life at this time. And there's two ways we can ask the soulmate confirmation reading. The first way that we can ask it is we directly ask your angels, messengers, and spirit guides if the person in question is indeed a soulmate of yours. If the answer is yes, they will explain why and in what context. If the answer is no, they will explain why not. Alternatively, we can also ask the question, we can simply ask your spirit guides if they give their divine blessing towards the connection between you and the person in question. Both confirm, if you get a yes, both confirm that this is indeed a soulmate of yours. This is someone that your spirit guides and angels definitely approve of. And I will say the soulmate reading does not have to be exclusively romantic. I've done soulmate readings for people's friends, family members, pets. We have many, many soulmates, and they come in many, many different forms. Yes, a lot of them are romantic, but not all of them are. So if you just have a question as to, what position someone has in your life, or what reason they have to be in your life, what purpose they serve, the journey that they'll lead you on, or that you guys will embark on together, I highly, highly recommend this spread. It is very, very, very comprehensive and very enlightening. It's not, I don't want to say it's totally uncommon to get Spirit's blessing, but when you do, it definitely means a lot. Our spirit guides have very, very high expectations for us. They only want the very, very best for us. And if you get Spirit's confirmation that someone is indeed a soulmate, and or they give their blessing, you're in a good place. That is $16.16 unless you need to use SuperChat, in which it is $23.23. I also do past life regression readings. Excuse me. I've been studying past life regression therapy since I was very, very young. I've regressed others without using tarot for many, many years. I've been regressed through meditation. And about 2 years into my professional practice of tarot, I found that I was channeling people's past lives. And it doesn't have to be asked with the intention of what's the past life of mine that will help guide me on most effectively guide me on my life's journey right now. It can be we can ask with any intent. We can ask, did I have a past life in a certain country? Did I have a past life in which I was a part of a certain culture? What was the past life of mine that was my most beloved? What was the past life of mine that was the most challenging, the most difficult? They're all very, very comprehensive. I've never had a boring past life reading. They're always very, very, very enlightening. Very, very enlightening. And each one's very, very unique and special, and definitely illustrates a very, very dynamic vision of your soul's overall tapestry. So I highly recommend past life regression readings, again, with any intent. And then I mentioned earlier, of course, that I answer a lot of romance questions. And I have a spread that I developed years ago. A lot of my clients call it the OG love spread, love reading. I often refer to it as the TFI reading, but it essentially answers not just 3, but 5 questions in one. When clients come to me and ask, how does so-and-so currently think about me? What are their thoughts towards me? What are their feelings? How do they regard me overall? I always suggest this reading, and it's at no additional donation amount. It's the same amount as the general menu posted at the top of the chat. It can be done with a mini reading, a full reading, or an in-depth reading, and it consists of 5 columns, and the second column is their current thoughts towards you. The third is their current feelings. Fourth is their intentions towards you. Fifth are their general energies towards the connection. And the first column is your general energies towards the connection. So it's a very comprehensive spread. regarding interpersonal relationships. And again, it doesn't have to just be for someone of a romantic context in your life. I do the TFI spread for people's coworkers, friends, family members, neighbors, you name it. I've likely done the TFI spread for someone who is not romantic nature, but I often do it for romantic readings. And yeah, they are very, very comprehensive and very, very enlightening. And again, they are no additional donation amount. It's just a suggestion for a reading, and it answers more than one question in one reading. I also offer private readings. I offer 2 different types of private readings. The first that I offer is by appointment only. That is over Zoom. For those of you who haven't had one with me before, it's exactly what you're seeing here. It's by, obviously, I think I just mentioned it's by appointment only, so there's the convenience factor, it's on your time. There is a limit to the time in which we can talk, but if you need an extension to your session, you can usually add on to that if you need to. But there's no, within the time frame that we have, there's no limit to the number of questions I can answer for you. There's no limit to the number of cards that I pull. And it's just me and you, one-on-one. You can give me all the context and backstory you need. And then you also have the discretion and privacy that you can't have, that's just not available on a live stream. So if it's something of a more personal nature that you don't really want online, in public, I highly recommend that. And yeah, it's one-on-one, and just directly me and you. And we can just talk one-on-one, no interference with typing or anything. And then the second type of private reading that I offer is at no additional donation amount. It's the same amount as the menu posted at the top of my chat. And that is for reasons also of discretion and privacy, as well as convenience. If you have a question and I'm not online and you need me to answer it, simply send me your donation with your question and I can answer your question usually within about 2 to 3 hours. At the very latest in 24 hours. I don't think it's ever actually been 24 hours that I've answered a donation reading, but that's the limit that I give myself. But it's I can usually get to you within 1 to 3 hours. And I do those over voice memos on DMs over Instagram. Or if you don't use Instagram, I type it over email. So yeah, that is the other type of private reading that I often offer. What else was I going to mention? I think that is about it. And with that, the donation queue is currently open. So whoever donates next will be read for next. I keep on blanking on what I was going to say. But yeah, so whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you so much. Shateria! Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing, love? Oh, I don't know if you're still here, but did JB message you? Have there been any developments there? I'm doing good. Just frustrated about JB. Even though I sent him a message accidentally, I still want him to message me back. Yeah, I know that feeling. I know that feeling a little too well. Yeah, yeah. But it still doesn't mean that he's not going to message you, love. You know that I was thinking about that reading and how he like took a step back and he was excited that he saw that you messaged him, but also nervous, which tells me that he like doesn't want to mess it up. He wants to make sure he says the right thing, you know. I'm going to donate to see why it's taking him so long. For sure, love, for sure. And when did you message him? Was it 2 days ago? On Sunday. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I mean 2 days. It's not too long, but when it yeah I know the feeling. It's when it's when it's you, it feels like a really long time. You know, I probably feel the same way. Like what is taking so long? My question is, how much longer do I have to wait for a message? Sorry, one sec. What is going on here? Oh. There we go. Thank you so much, Soteria. Um, busy working on a rough draft. So okay, so you want to ask how much longer do you have to wait for a message? So when it comes to timing, tarot can't tell like the exact like number of days or the exact number of hours or weeks, whatever, how long it's going to take. So the best way to ask this would be like, will he message me within 1 week? Or will he message me within the next 3 days? Will he message me by this weekend? Like, I would give it a time, like, I would choose a time frame and then tarot would be able to answer yes or no. Or we could ask if he's working on a rough draft. Which I really get the sense that he is. That's definitely more the sense that I'm getting. By the weekend, okay. Let's see. Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Ancient Masters and Spirit Guides. Will JB message Shateria by the end of this weekend? Alright, love, let's see. The Fool reversed, the Wheel of Fortune reversed, the Hermit reversed, 8 of Swords, and 6 of Wands. We got some good news and we got some bad news, so I'm going to start with the bad news first because that's usually the way I like to do it. The bad news, or it's not even bad news per se, I would say probably more disappointing. I understand taking a step back because it blindsided him. Yeah, it's been a while. And you're absolutely right, and I'll get to that in a moment. It blindsided him. Look at this, 8 of Swords. Literally, he's blinded right now. Will he message you by the end of this weekend? There's not. It's. I don't want to say for sure no, but it's not likely. Starting with the Fool reversed. This is not saying that he doesn't intend on messaging you, and I'll get to that in a moment, but there is hesitation. And when I say hesitation, I don't mean he's like going back and forth in his mind, like, should I reach out to her, should I not? It's more, I want to say the right thing. I'm nervous. And nervous is a good sign. That means he's interested in you. But he doesn't feel ready yet in terms of what he wants to say to you and how he wants to say it. The Wheel of Fortune reversed is also telling me that it's going to happen. But delays will be necessary. And when I say delay, I mean by this weekend. I don't think it'll be much longer. I'm going to get to that in a moment. Check out this Hermit reversed card right here. He's thinking. He's definitely thinking. The Hermit upright, I mean, I usually reference the art to this card. Even if I'm not using this deck, I'll often refer to this specific art for the Hermit. She's looking at her laptop. Like dead ass, she's looking at her laptop, she's thinking, and she's on her own, and she's taking a step back, but she's definitely taking things into consideration. And when I say this, and when I see this in its reverse form, That's telling me exactly what I thought. Is he's processing what he wants to say to you. And then, like you said, blindsided, like quite literally, Eight of Swords is blinded. He feels bound right now in two different ways. He feels bound to reaching out to you, but he also feels bound by his his doubts. I don't want to call it fears, nervousness. It's nervousness. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing. He was definitely excited to see that you messaged him. I still get that energy. I still see it. And this is the happy news. We got this beautiful Six of Wands, V for victory. He is indeed going to message you. I truly believe he's going to message you. And is he working on a rough draft? I don't know for sure, but I would say at the very least mentally, yes. Mentally, he is definitely prepping. He's likely writing down notes, like of things he wants to say, the right thing to say, probably bouncing ideas, not ideas, but like, I have a feeling that he's talking to other people for advice. Like, I want to reach out to Shateria. We haven't talked in a while, but I don't want to mess this up. I don't want to just knee-jerk reaction, send her a message, and I don't want to sound too eager. I don't want to sound nervous. I don't want to say, I don't want to. He just doesn't want to say any of the wrong thing. He's very, very careful right now. He's feeling very, very. Yeah, he wants to be as careful as possible here. And he wants to convey the best message that he can to you. But it did surprise him to see that you messaged him, but in a good way. As I mentioned earlier, this nervous energy that I'm getting from him, it's not nervous in the sense like, oh geez, like Shateria messaged me and I don't want to message her, so it's not like that. The nervousness that he's feeling is, oh damn, like Shateria messaged me and she's been on my mind, and I don't feel like the chapter was fully closed. And also, I think you said it was a year since the two of you last were seeing each other, talking to one another. A year is quite a long time. A lot of changes take place. He's definitely interested in what's going on in your life. I think we talked about that also. He doesn't. There are certain aspects of his life that I think he's not thrilled with or very secure about right now in himself. So he will likely make certain things in his life sound like they're going super great when in reality he's kind of not too super thrilled about them. But that also tells me again that he wants to impress you. He wants to make obviously not a first impression because you guys have met, but he wants to make a good impression this time around. I don't want to say a better impression, but with time passing, it's not like you're meeting again, but it's definitely and it's not like a reconciliation so much, but just a what's the word I'm looking for? A reconnection. I think he's scared that I will tell him that I don't like him, but that's not true. I think that could be part of it too, because I do pick up insecure energies from him. I don't think he's dated in a while. And we just received a donation from Miss Wendy. Thank you so much, Wendy. I will add you in just one sec. So he's not super confident right now. He's not super confident, and definitely has some insecurities about himself. And when you're feeling insecure about yourself, that's typically a fear that one has is, oh, well, I'm not feeling great about myself. What would she see in me, you know? But and that's you know it's sad because it's not true. I mean, obviously, but he doesn't know that. But and you even just tell you that, but that's not true. Yeah, he's you know, and that's a way of trying to protect ourselves from pain, from fear, from getting hurt. But the reality is, you know, you messaged him accidentally, you know, even if it was accidental, he has to. I mean, he has to have, you know, at least an inkling that you're at the very least he's on your mind, you know. So that is very possible that he's afraid that you, not that you would message him and say, hey, I don't like you, but that you would message him and it would not be in a romantic context. I think that's more what he's afraid of. Like maybe I think that, well, there's several things that he's insecure and fearful of. And I think that's one of them as well. Is she reaching out to me to reconnect romantically, or is she reaching out to me to reconnect platonically? Yeah, I don't think it's so much a fear of him thinking that you'd message him and say, "Hey, I don't like you," but I think that's the fear. Is he wants this to be in a romantic context, and I think he's scared that one, it might have been, you know, you might have just slipped and pushed the wrong name when you sent the message. Like, I think that's also another thing. I think he's also wondering, did you accidentally send that? Was that a mistake? Would I look foolish? The full reverse. Would I look foolish if I reached out to her if it was a mistake? If it was an accident, you know? And there was something else I was going to add to that. Yeah, the fear of it being a mistake and then him reaching out. And I think that's another fear, him reaching out to you and you being like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to send that message to you. But nice to see you, or nice to hear from you. You know what I mean? So I think that's a big part of what's holding him back too, is he's not, I think he was a bit surprised, like, she still likes me? Does she still like me? She probably doesn't, because, and I'm talking from his point of view, I think in his mind he's like, well, there's a good chance that she might not like me. It likely was an accident, because who would like me at this time? He doesn't really like himself, you know? Like, yeah, fear of rejection, yeah. Because part of him, he's really hoping that you accidentally sent it with at least a subconscious intention of a reconciliation, and he does want it in a romantic context. I think that's a fear too. Is what if I reach out to her and it was just an accident, and then I would look foolish. So, but I do think I truly feel like he does want to take that chance. But he is in a rather insecure, vulnerable place right now, which is causing the procrastination. His intentions, yeah, I absolutely see him wanting and intending to message you, but he's getting stuck in his head, and I think it's prolonging the procrastination. Doesn't mean that he's not going to reach out to you, but he is nervous. He is nervous. And I definitely, I know, I sense that he does like you. He does like you, and he is fearful of rejection, looking foolish. So yeah, I don't think he'll message you by this weekend, but I do think he will message you. He's just he's definitely it really blindsided him, and he's still processing it too. Not just processing what he wants to say to you, but processing the fact that you reached out to him. Kind of came out of nowhere. Even though he saw you, he was like, "This is like synchronicitous," and but I don't want to read it the wrong way, you know. So good news. He is interested in you. He's just not interested in himself. I think that's the best way of putting it. He's not very confident right now. Not really happy with himself right now, or who he is. Feeling insecure. But hell if he doesn't think about you a lot, and thinks about the fact that you and thinks about all the time the fact that you messaged him on Sunday, or accidentally sent him the message on Sunday. It's definitely on his mind, for sure, every day. Likely keeping him up at night sometimes too. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you, Miss Shateria. I know you didn't ask for my advice, but if you want it, I know you want him to reach out to you, and I believe he will, but he may need just a little more confirmation that it wasn't an accident, because now things are spinning in his head, and he's coming to conclusions that aren't really there. His mind is spinning, and his thoughts aren't detangling. And he's gonna have to detangle those thoughts, because otherwise it's just gonna drive him nuts, you know. But yeah, no, I do think he will reach out to you. But if you want him to reach out sooner, no, I don't think there's any harm in just saying like, hey, I tried to send you a message on Sunday, just seeing how you are. I believe I saw you at work and just wanted to see how you are, without saying I'm into you, I want to get back together with you. Just keeping it friendly. I thought about actually yeah, I really think that would be a good I know it's not, and I feel you there. Like I want to be the one who's reached out to first, a lot of ladies do, a lot of us ladies do. But with this guy, it's not a matter of he's not messaging you because he doesn't like you. It's he's insecure, and he just needs, I think, just a little extra prod. Like, oh, okay, so that wasn't an accident. She wants to know how I'm doing. Like this is a green flag. Like I think I can almost guarantee you he will respond, and probably quite quickly, because I have very little doubt that he's like taking notes in his phone, like when he comes, oh, I should tell her this. Like I'm sure he's writing rough drafts, like in his notes on his iPhone, and like audio messages and stuff. So I think that would be a good idea. But give all in your time too, and how you feel comfortable as well. Well, thank you so much, Shateria. I appreciate you, love. I'm really interested and excited to see how this turns out, because the energy feels really good. The energy feels really good with both of you. Other than his insecurities right now, looks, feels, sounds good. Thank you so much again, love. Miss Wendy. Wendy, thank you so much for your donation, girl. How are you doing? Yeah, it just energetically, it feels good. It feels good. It's good to stay grounded, you know? I sometimes I don't. Sometimes I get ahead of myself when I feel good energies. And I'm not saying that you're not. I'm not saying that you are getting ahead of yourself or that you're not grounded. But this does feel really good, and I feel like his lack of confidence right now would be really really lovely, a really lovely balance with you and him. I think that I don't want to say you would like solve all his feelings of insecurity, but it would definitely assuage these fears that he has. Hey Sophie, so I posted online that I wanted to go on a date while in Lisbon, and someone interesting messaged me. Can I get a read on his vibe? His name is Nick, and I don't know his sign. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, Whoa. So did you post this on Instagram or in a community? That's so cool. That's a way to get dates. I never thought about that. Instagram. Was it Instagram? But you don't have to tell me if you don't want. On Threads. Oh, okay. Is that that's is that part of Instagram? That's so cool, girl. Let's see what his energy is. Did Samuel change the name on the reservation yet? Nick. Okay. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Please provide Wendy with any and all information she needs to know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information she needs to know about Nick in Lisbon. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information that she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information that she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information that she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information that she should know about Nick. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, please provide Wendy with any and all information that she should know about Nick. For sure. Okay. 10 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands, 4 of Swords reversed, and Page of Pentacles reversed. That's my card for today. I was thinking about doing a card of the day on my live streams, like whatever my card is for today, like when there's like blank periods, like just talking about analyzing a card of the day. And today's card, for me at least, is Page of Pentacles reversed. Very interesting. I definitely need my little black book here for this guy Nick isn't this interesting? 10 of Pentacles reversed, 10 of Cups, and 10 of Wands. This is really confusing me. This 10 of Pentacles reversed, you guys just met. 10 of Pentacles is about solid foundations, the beginning of a solid foundation. When it's reversed, you know, there isn't that solid foundation, but we're just asking about his vibe and anything that you need to know about him. So I want a little more clarity here because I'm hoping this isn't what I think it means. Yeah. Do you know what he does for a living? Because 10 of Pentacles reversed, there's two things that are possible here. He may not be doing too well financially, which is okay. That, you know, that's fine. That's not what you're looking for in a, you know, for this date. But it's something that does cause insecurity in him, and I'm also seeing that here with this Page of Pentacles reversed. But with this 10 of Pentacles reversed, this concerns me that he may be married, or he may have just divorced. Because 10 of Pentacles is a family marriage card. He's American and moved to Portugal. Okay. So he shouldn't be doing too badly. But it's more in the context of, I mean, money's important to everyone, but it's he feels like it's very important to him. It's very important to how he presents himself, especially romantically. And there's definitely some insecurities there. He may, I don't want to say he like is gonna lie about his money situation, but he might. The vibe I'm getting is that he does do well financially, but it's like never good enough for him, and money is and the way he presents himself is a big part of his identity. So he'll likely show up in like all designer clothes, in like an amazing car. He's focused a lot on money, and it causes some insecurities, a lot of insecurities in him. However, he is looking for a harmonious union with someone, with this beautiful 10 of Cups. And he's already, from you know, just, I don't know how long you guys have been talking, but so far he really likes what he sees. He really likes the communication you guys have had between the two of you, and does see potential for a harmonious, at the very least, a harmonious date. And Spirit is saying that too. Like, I don't feel like the date will be discordant, or I don't feel like you guys won't get. I feel like you guys will get along very well. But he does harbor a lot of, he harbors a lot of insecurities. This 10 of Wands here, He's got a lot on his plate. I'm really hoping he's not married. He might be recently divorced, or might have recently called off an engagement with this Ten of Pentacles reversed. That could be part of it. But I also am just getting this energy that he aims to impress through material things, which is okay, which is fine. But when it's I don't want to say it's like almost it's not all he thinks about, but it's a major part of his identity. I'm not looking for anything, just a cute stranger to take me out in a new city. That's what I was figuring. That's what I mean, and that's what that's what I was seeing here. This Ten of Cups, like, and that's what Spirit's saying is you'll have a nice time with this guy. You guys will get along, but I with this Four of Swords reversed, Ten of Wands. I feel like he's got a really, really busy life. He's got 10, 10, 10. He's got a lot on his plate. And with this Four of Swords reversed, it's likely that he, and I don't know if you even want this, if you wanted to, like, hang out with him out, past the dinner date, but he might not be too available time-wise, in terms of having a travel buddy, having someone to enjoy your time with while you're in Lisbon. Yeah, I get the sense that he works a hell of a lot, actually. And I do think he makes good money, and I know that's not even I know it's like irrelevant here, but Spirit's just saying that, like, while you guys do have a good, you guys have good chemistry, you'll have a harmonious time. No, I just want a short date. I don't even. Yeah. You'll have a good time. He's not a threat. He's not dangerous in any way. You guys will have a harmonious time. There won't be discord. There won't be any arguments. You won't leave the date thinking like that. That wasn't a nice guy to have dinner with at a really nice restaurant. I think you will leave the date. I think both of you will leave the date enjoying it. So that to me is a success. That's a win. You're just looking for a short date, with a nice fellow, and he is. He's a gentleman. He's a nice guy, and he'll treat you right. But Spirit's just saying, like, in a more spiritual, like, long-term sense, which I know you weren't even asking, but Spirit's just throwing it out there. There's just a lot of things that aren't aligned between you and him. He says, like, he's trying to mingle. He posts a lot about being single. Interesting. Okay, so I don't. Okay. So he's probably not married. I mean, it's married people can do that. It's possible. But if he's really looking to put it sounds like he is really putting himself out there and looking for companionship. But, and I see that with this Ten of Cups, he does want harmony, and you guys will have a harmonious time on your date. But I do think that I think that he ended. I think that he's gotten out of a serious relationship not too long ago, and I don't. I think he's on the prowl. Yeah, yeah. And I think he's on the prowl. I don't want to say for the wrong reason, but he's trying to find the harmony that he had not. This Ten of Pentacles reverse. I think he either ended an engagement was ended, or he went through a divorce, or a very long term relationship came to an end not too long ago, and he's carrying a lot of weight with that. It's heavy. It's a heavy burden. He doesn't want to think about it anymore. He wants reprieve. So I don't want to say that he's looking for dates for the wrong reason, but I don't think he's fully ready to be in a connection with someone. And also when people post a lot about being single, I mean, it's one thing to, put yourself out there because you want a relationship, but reiterating that you're single a lot, that usually comes from, when I hear that I usually hear that from people who are recently single and aren't used to it. And that's the vibe I'm getting from him, is he's not used to being on his own. Yeah, I think he's trying to have fun in a new city. Yeah, I absolutely. But I still do get the sense that, do you know why he left America? That's fine by me. I'm not looking to be with this man. Yeah, I know. I understand. I totally understand. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing here. Um, yeah, I don't know why he left the U.S. I mean, why wouldn't someone leave the U.S.? I'm sure there's many reasons, but I do get the sense that there's someone that he's really trying to, and having a difficult time moving forward from, and healing from. But in terms of energy vibe of this guy, he's a good guy. He will treat you well. He will be a gentleman. Um, you guys will have a nice date, a nice dinner. No, we haven't gotten that far. Yeah, exactly. It sounds like you only just connected with him like very recently, but I know he was having health issues that was going to bankrupt him. Oh dear. Oh, so he moved for the health care. Oh, poor guy. Well, I really hope he's doing a lot better health wise. Okay, that also explains things. So, okay, maybe it's not a, yeah, maybe it wasn't a woman. Maybe he's really wanting a connection when you have health, and I don't know how deep his health issues were, but if he was, if it was, a matter of life or death, it could have, maybe he's like, there's no time to waste. Like I want to drink forth from the cup of life as much as possible. 10 of Cups. And you donated for another question. Thank you so much, love. Thank you, thank you. Let me post this again. All right, love. Please go ahead and post your next question. Thank you. answer your question about Samuel, he didn't fix the reservation, but I told him it's fine. I'm going to bring another guy to dinner, so he'll just be Samuel. That's so funny. How does Samuel feel about that? Let's see. So Nick will be Samuel. That's funny. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy bringing another guy to the restaurant? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How does Samuel feel about Wendy going to the restaurant with another guy? It won't be Nick. I just told him it's some guy I'm bringing. Wait, it won't be Nick. I just told him it's... Oh, you mean like you're not sure if it's Nick for sure, but you know you're going with another guy. Or you didn't tell Samuel about Nick, but you told Samuel that you're going with another guy. We have Page of Wands reversed, Queen of Cups, Three of Pentacles, the Lovers, and the Moon reversed. Okay. Now this is confusing. First thing, the first energy that I'm getting, starting with this Page of Wands reverse, this is telling me that while he definitely was fantasizing about going to the restaurant with you in Lisbon, I think he knew it was a fantasy. I think he knew that we've got both the Page of Wands reversed. Okay, the Page of Wands reversed and the Moon reversed here. He was dreaming, he was fantasizing about the two of you going to the restaurant in Lisbon. But I believe that in his heart of hearts, he didn't have an actual intention of doing so. The guy has no cojones. Or maybe he does. But metaphorically, no. He doesn't have he just doesn't have the balls for that. He went the farthest he went was making the reservation for you. But and I kind of got, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm remembering correctly, I kind of got that sense when he was dilly-dallying around with, first of all, putting it in his name, not changing things, not giving you, being vague about when he's going to get it done, when he was going to change it. That made me feel like he wasn't intentionally trying to play games with you. He did. He unintentionally played a game there. That was, his behavior was not chill, in my opinion. I think he had a flicker of a hope. So he was comfortable in making a phone call, but when it comes to the nitty gritty, we've seen this before. When it comes to actually initiating something, he doesn't take action. He doesn't feel secure enough in himself. And I'm going to say this in the kindest way possible, and you know I'm not being mean to you, or I'm not even trying to be mean to him, but, and this doesn't come from a place of mean-spiritedness at all, it's just an observation. Even when he was living in the U.S., he couldn't, stuck watching ads. Oh, okay, I'll wait for just a couple seconds while you catch up there. So my thought was this. I mean, when he was living in the U.S. and you guys were working together, it was, you know, he stayed within his comfort zone in terms of, while you guys were at work, he would flirt with you, and then he backed off energetically, but not emotionally. And it stems from a place of insecurity, fear, not feeling good enough for you. I don't think he feels good enough for anyone, quite frankly. He certainly doesn't feel good about himself, and I'm not trying to make you feel bad for him or anything like that. But these dreams, these fantasies, it's like that's his comfort zone. And then when the reality hit of like, okay, I'd have to book a flight and we'd be spending time I do remember saying that, like, the idea of booking a flight, going to Lisbon, he's so insecure, he can't imagine, like, well, what would we talk about if we went on a walk? It's almost like, it's not almost like, it's very much like, what, you know, you essentially said, ask me out on a date, like, you know, you owe me lunch, or you said you were going to get me lunch. Well, you know, let's go out for lunch outside of work. And he didn't, or dinner, and he didn't take that opportunity. He stays within his comfort zone, and I mean, look at how much it holds him back. So he confessed to me that he's stuck because he's been dealing with health issues. It triggered when he was in America. Samuel had health issues as well as this guy, Nick. He's stuck because he's been dealing with health issues. Because I didn't get to these three cards right here in the center. Look, this Queen of Cups, the Lovers, the Three of Pentacles. He does want to make this work. Even though not even though, he fantasizes about it, he dreams about it, he thinks about you all the time. He does want to make this work, but also in the context of work, that's also his, like, comfort zone. I don't know how his health issues are right now. I know he was working from the hospital, but oh geez, oh no. He's working himself way too hard. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm you know, I don't know what his issues are, but I do know that stress is the number one cause and trigger of disease and illness, and exacerbating things that we already have. But yeah, Queen of Cups, the Lovers. He still feels deeply for you. He said that he's been making big strides recently to recovering, but he's not completely okay yet. So he's been stuck, can't move anywhere. He literally can't move anywhere. I'm not seeing any feelings of bitterness here. I'm not seeing feelings of resentfulness. I'm not seeing feelings of jealousy. But I'm seeing I'm definitely seeing deep affection for you still. And there's still a hope of that too. I mean, if these were reversed, I'd say that he's really like bent and feels like nothing. I think he still thinks that there's a shred of hope between the two of you. But I completely acknowledge his illness there. But I also think that insecurity is a part of it. Insecurity could be related also to the health issues as well. When one isn't feeling like their best self, I was actually saying this to Shateri in the last reading I did. When one isn't feeling great about themselves or physically doesn't feel well, we often think to ourselves, like, why would someone want to be with me or spend time with me? You know, he brought up a flirty thing from the past today to tease me. Yeah, he kept it a secret all this time. Jeez Louise. That's so sad. Wow, working from the hospital bed. Yeah, so the actual, yeah, I'm surprised we didn't see that the chariot reversed here, but yeah, his actual ability to get to Lisbon, there's definitely obstacles. There's definitely obstacles, physical and I believe I still believe there's emotional obstacles as well. Not towards you. He's definitely still holds you close, um, emotionally, and thinks about you all the time. This, as I mentioned, I'm not seeing bitterness. I'm not seeing anger. It's like a soft, resigned acceptance. Like he still has feelings for you, but he knows that he can't or likely would not be able to physically go. And depending on what he's suffering from, travel might even exacerbate that. That's also a possibility. I will say too, he wants you to be happy, which is quite emotionally mature for him. He does want you to have harmony. He does want you to have happiness. And to me, that is genuine affection for someone. That is genuinely having feelings for someone, having affection for someone. Even if you know that it can't be met at that time, at that place, he still wants you to be happy. Wants you to have a good time in Lisbon. Would he rather be the guy going on the date with you? Absolutely, 100%, 100%. But it's those obstacles, and some of them are obstacles that he's created, and clearly some of the obstacles, now that he admitted to you, and I don't read medical stuff, or so that's why I didn't mention it. I'll be honest, if I had seen it, I wouldn't have said anything, because I don't, as you know, it's a big thing. Legal medical stuff I don't talk about, but I never even saw anything about illness. But it's likely because I wasn't looking. But it checks out for sure. Yeah, I told about my ideal living situation and told him I need my partner. to understand that. Okay, so you like your move to your move abroad, and you need a partner to understand that that's where you're at. How did you respond to that? Was he supportive? Sammy K, hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. He told me that he understood where I was coming from and supported. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He wants you to be happy, and I truly believe he honors that, and you know the fact that you know what your ideal situation is, the fact that you have a vision of that, as well. He definitely respects, and doesn't want to stand in between that, or prevent you from he's torn between wanting what I want and wanting a more peaceful life. Yeah, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. He wants you. He definitely wants you. But is it all right if I super chat you for a mini read? Yes, Sammy. That is absolutely that. I would love to read for you. Absolutely. Thank you so much, love. Yeah, I've got to message you, girl. I got to message you on Instagram. I'm dealing with something a little similar myself right now with someone, where both people really like each other, but different needing and wanting different things in one's life, one's future. And that's not to say that you guys will never be on the same page. Yes, I will, girl. I will. Yeah. It's been a rough few days. I'll just say that. It's been a rough few days. For sure, love. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. But just a little disappointed about something. But yeah, no, I hear you. Damn. No, wow. And he just told you now that he was dealing with an illness. That's so sad. And it's sad that he and delayed telling you as well too. But I I I also understand too. He's got those insecurities, and he may have been afraid that if he told you, oh well, maybe she won't want to be with me if I'm ill or something like that. They. Well, I'm glad he was transparent with you finally about one thing. Um, that definitely clears up. That brings a lot of clarity there. You're so welcome. You are very welcome, Wendy. Thank you so much, girl. And yeah, I'm gonna send you. I'll send you a message tonight. We'll have a kiki. Sammy K, thank you so much, love, for your donation. Can I gain anything out of my connection with a Virgo that I started dating? Okay. So Sammy, I just need, I just have a couple of questions for you before I ask your question. Sammy, what is your sign? And what is the name of the person who you just started dating? You are a Pisces. Okay. And the Virgo is Jerry. Okay. How long have the two of you been dating? Okay, so can I gain anything out of my connection with Jerry? I'm just gonna pause real quickly just so we get a really accurate reading here. I'm sorry to ask you so many questions. What you're wondering what you'll gain from dating him? Do you mean like what the potential is in terms of like longevity or something more specific? We just met, went on a couple of dates. I'm sort of confused by this. Okay, I have a suggestion I'd love to offer you, and you can absolutely say no if you don't want to go forth with this. But I have a reading that I do, and it doesn't. It's not. It's the same price as everything else, but it answers basically 5 questions in one. It's very comprehensive. I can tell you what his current thoughts are towards you, his current feelings, his current intentions towards you, as well as his general energies towards the connection and your general energies towards the connection. If you wanted to do that. Or I could simply ask, is there potential for longevity in this connection? Which would you prefer, I asked? Because the first one would answer that. Intentions, feelings. It's still a little early. Dating. That's the frustrating part about dating is it does take time. Getting to know people, but a couple of dates you should probably. He's definitely established thoughts and feelings and intentions. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll do the love spread. No problem. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, what are Jerry's current thoughts, feelings, and intentions towards Sammy? Alright, love. We have Knight of Swords reversed, 5 of Wands reversed, the High Priestess reversed, 5 of Cups, and 5 of Swords reversed. We got a lot of 5s here. Fives are okay, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna get into every single card here, okay, love? You said you're confused. You said that you've been on a couple of dates now. You said you've been on a couple of dates. We just met, went on a couple of dates, I'm sort of confused by this. Okay. You don't. You don't have to tell me what you're confused about. I see that you're confused with this Knight of Swords reversed. Knight of Swords reversed is absolutely confusion. He is heavily on your mind, and there's a lot of missing pieces. And correct me if I'm wrong here, but because we're talking about your energies right now, not his. But there's a lot of missing pieces in your mind as to, I would say, how he overall regards you, and I don't want to say, yeah, overall sees you as a person, and there might be some, correct me if I'm wrong, but I also am getting that there's some communication, I don't want to say issues, but perhaps a lack of consistency in his communication. It is very, very recent, very, very recent, very new. So I could see how there would be, you know, there inevitably will be missing pieces if you have only been on 2 dates with someone and just recently met them. But he's clearly struck you in, not literally, but emotionally. You feel very drawn to him, but also very confused, unsure. The communication sucks. Okay. Now, his general energy, we have the Five of Swords reversed. Five of Swords reversed is, he's essentially, what I'm seeing here overall, just, and I'll get into it in every card, I think, and I don't know if he told you this, he likely didn't tell you this, but I have every reason to believe that he recently got out of a relationship, and I don't think he's completely over the last relationship. Either he went through a breakup very recently, and or the relationship it lasted a long time, and he is very afraid of getting hurt again. It's these fives I was talking about. People ask me, what's your least favorite card in the deck? And I would say the Nine of Swords on a personal level, but overall, I dislike every single five. The Five of Cups, the Five of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Five of Pentacles. They're difficult cards. And the Five of Swords upright is about defeat. So he's been defeated. And when it's reversed, I was actually talking to my friend about this earlier today. He is so fearful of getting hurt again, to the point where he has a lot of boundaries. So you know tarot, you know what I'm talking about. Their conflict, exactly. He's very conflicted right now, and this is so crazy, girl. I was literally just talking to my friend, like almost right before I went online, about someone who I'm dealing with in my life right now, who has put up boundaries that are so high that I argue that boundaries are great. Everyone needs to have boundaries, not only just having boundaries, but maintaining them. But sometimes those boundaries can turn into walls. And that happens, I believe that happens when people, often men, want love and want a relationship, but they're like, there's no way I refuse to get hurt again. He refuses to get hurt again. And this lack of this wonky communication, the communication that sucks, I think that's a big part of it. He's definitely wanting to take things slowly, and the more time goes on, the more fearful he gets of getting hurt again. It comes back. It comes back to him. His thoughts towards you at this time, we have the Five of Wands reversed. Five of Wands, battles, conflicts, in its reverse form, internal conflicts. This is telling me that he does indeed like you. He is attracted to you. He is interested in you. But he is still he's still grappling with this inner conflict. That conflict being, in my opinion, he has not fully healed. I used to say that unless someone is fully healed, then they probably shouldn't be dating. Over the years, I've gone back on that. I say now, as long as someone's at least 75% healed, that's fine. But I feel like he's maybe like 20%. He's not. I don't even think he's halfway healed from the past. I'm just not sure if I should leave this connection at this point and move on to the next. I hear you. I hear you, because it's only been a couple of weeks, you know, or a couple of dates, and we all know the longer that we think about someone, the longer we spend time with someone, or try to spend time with them, or try to communicate with them, the more frustrating it can become. If we end up becoming disappointed, and the deeper it gets, you know. So there's that. And I'm in a situation very similar to you, love. Like, do I get out now, so I just protect myself from getting hurt further? Because the longer I extend this, that's just inevitable. Or do I give this a chance? You know, and that's the game of love. You know, as Janis Joplin said, when you find love, you're taking a gamble with a little bit of sorrow. And there's just no way to prevent being hurt in love. You have to be vulnerable to date. If you want to find love, if you want to find connection, if you want to find intimacy with someone, you have to be vulnerable and open to the reality that you might get hurt. It is a possibility. Anyone who's ever dated even once knows that. You know, eventually, at some point, we've all been hurt in romance. You know, it's unavoidable. I'm not saying in this situation specifically, but just in general, it's a possibility that we may get hurt. And he's so reticent and so stubborn about getting the possibility of getting hurt that he's got these walls up. And his feelings, we have this High Priestess reversed here. He's not listening to his heart. He's not listening to his intuition. He's listening to, I don't want to say bad advice, but he's listening to his brain. His brain has essentially created a comfort zone for him. He clearly likes you. I can sense it. He clearly wants to be in a romantic connection with somebody. But if he's not willing to accept that gamble, that he might get hurt, then he's not going to find it anytime soon. He's got walls up. That are preventing him from getting to know you better, which is really what it's all about. Communicating when you're first starting dating, you're getting to know someone. That's it. And I try to tell people this. It shouldn't be that heavy, you know, when we're dating someone at the beginning. You know, we're just getting to know someone. We now that I'm older, I now when I go on first dates, I tell myself, like, when I used to go on first dates, I'd be like, oh, this might be the one. I don't say that anymore. And now I go, it might be, it might not be. I'm not pessimistic, but I'm not overly optimistic when I start dating someone, and it can be hard. I try to just stay in a realm of realistic optimism, you know, like, because I don't want to push away any energy, but at the same time, I have to accept the fact that I might end up getting disappointed, you know. And if we can accept that at the beginning, the disappointment is usually lessened. I don't want to say it doesn't hurt, but it's if it's something that you've taken into consideration already that it might not work, then it's often easier to understand. I normally don't get past the first date, but I will pay a little bit of attention if I'm on the second. Yeah, that's the thing, girl. It's true, right? Like, first dates, they're, you know, I'm the same way. Like, first dates, yeah, first date. I can get a first date. We can get first dates. First dates. It's the second date that's hard to get. When you get that second date or that third date, it's like, okay, well, now I feel like this is going somewhere. In my situation, it's date number 3, and I found out that the person and I are not on the same page, and I feel a little deceived. But that's my story, not yours. You don't need to hear about my baggage, but it's just interesting because this sounds very similar to what I'm going through right now. Yeah, the guy that I'm interested in, he's got these walls up. He's got these walls up, and he calls them boundaries, but they're walls. Like, his idea of a long-term relationship is not cohabitating and not getting married. I'm like, okay, so what? Like, your mom or like your friend? Like, come on, man. Like, anyway, enough about him. Let's get back to you. His intentions. We have the 5 of Cups. This is what's telling me that he really does like you, and he really does want something special. He's craving intimacy and warmth and harmony and romance with not just anyone, but with someone special. And he sees someone special in you. Oh, that sucks. I'm sorry. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. And it's better. I know earlier, you know, like if he had told me like months, like 6 months from now, that would be crushing. That would have crushed me. But the fact that he told me, you know, 3 dates into it, I appreciate that. It hurt, but I do appreciate it. Because most guys aren't honest about that stuff. Most people, you know. But he was very transparent. Yeah, okay, now, yeah, see, I was kind of just afraid he was, but he's not watching this. But yeah, no, girl, I'll tell you, there's even more to it, girl. It gets deep. It gets deep with this one. But anyway, yeah, so it hurts, but I do recognize, like, okay, it's better that he told me now rather than later on. And now I'm grappling with, do I want to remain being his friend? Because we have a history. And I think I do. Because I'll move on. I'll find someone else. But I still value him as a friend. But anyway, back to Sam. This 5 of Cups, his intentions towards you. This is telling me, yeah, he does want something from you. He does want something, but he's feeling regret. He's feeling a sense of loss. And that, to me, goes back to this 5 of Wands reversed, where it's not towards you. It's not. He doesn't feel regretful in well, that's likely part of it. I think he does feel regretful about this crappy communication because he knows that it's coming from his fears, and he's missing out on something that I can tell he wants. The self denial, like this is like primo self denial. The High Priestess reversed. He's not listening to his heart, because his heart's been broken. And to that I say, whose hasn't, you know? But he's staying in his comfort zone right now, and that is dangerous as well. As I was talking about earlier, like if you don't ever challenge yourself and you don't ever get out of your comfort zone, then you're never going to move forward anywhere. So I don't want to say to you that there's no potential here, because I do see a man who is interested in you for sure. But I see a man who is stubborn. He's a Virgo, so yeah, stubborn. And it's possible. It's very likely possible that, yeah, he will heal and he will get out of this mindset, but who knows how long that's going to take, you know. So I know you didn't ask for my advice per se, but if I were you, because I'm in a very similar situation, it's sticky, it's confusing, I would give it a little bit more time. I already dealt with an avoidant last summer and it broke my heart. I don't want to deal with that again. Yeah. You okay, so that's a boundary. That's not a wall. That's a boundary. You know, that's what I'm talking about and that's if that's your boundary and it sounds like a solid one to me, then it would probably be best to and I don't know if you've withdrawn, but I would see how he reacts to you. I would see if he reaches out to you, if you know, if he initiates another date, if he's not chasing you, because that's what most people, what most ladies at least want. You know, we like being chased by the right person. If he's not chasing you, then he's definitely missing out, and he knows it. That's that Five of Cups, and B, I think because this is so new, I would give it a little bit more time. Yeah, and if he doesn't reach out, if you're not sensing anything from him or any developments, yeah, I might lay it to rest. And because and I'm so sorry about what happened to you last summer. That sucks. I dealt with the same thing. Oh my god. Wow, girl, we have very similar, some synchronicities here. Yeah, I dealt with that. Wendy can attest to that. I dealt with that last summer. But the one thing I'm grateful for about that is that I can identify that now better than in the past. And if someone can't, and I'm unwilling to, like, even last year, I feel like I was more willing to bend my, I don't want to say my boundaries, but my comfort zones to be with someone. And I'm just refusing to do that now. Like, I'm happy to be someone's friend, but they're not going to get anything else out of me unless they'll at least make me their girlfriend. Like, it's, I need that at the very least, you know. Not just, oh, we'll see where things go. I want to grow with you, but I don't want to put labels on it. I'm done with that stuff too. Like, yeah. The last guy was a Leo, and he went back to his ex. Ugh, I've dated more Leos than any other sign. That's so funny. I work with him, so it's been hard to deal with that. Oh, he still lingers in my energy, and I'm so done with him. I've never dated someone I've worked with. I've had crushes on people I've worked with, And I can't tell you how many clients I have that come to me with work crushes, and I warn them, like, I know, you know, it's easy. Back in the day, that's usually where people met their partners, was at work, before dating apps and stuff like that, before phones and the internet. People usually met people through their workplace. Um, and that's great because, you know, you're seeing each other all the time, you talk to each other all the time, you really get to know someone. But there's two factors there. You're spending even if you fall madly in love and it totally works out, there's no separation of church and state. You know, that there's, you know, you have your home life with them and work life. That's a lot, even if you're, you know, totally head over heels for each other. And then if it doesn't work, you're working together, you know. So I try, I always remind people about that, and it's a tough one. I'm sorry you're going through that, but it sounds like energetically you have a lot of clarity. While he still lingers in your energy, and he's literally around you, you are done with him, you know. Yeah, and you can't go through it again. Don't want to go through it again. Um, and like, and that goes back to what I was saying, is like, we can't prevent pain when it comes to love. That's always a gamble that we take, getting hurt, you know. But if we see those even pink flags or yellow flags early on that we can identify, it hurts, but it does hurt less when you nip it in the bud earlier. Um, and it sounds like you have a clear idea of how to identify that now. And this guy sounds like he's avoidant too, you know, and he's still not fully healed, and he's trying to control Virgo. No Tino shade to my Virgos out there, but he's trying to control love. You can't. That's like one of the only things nobody can control in this life, is people's affections for one another. And yeah, so he's he's got healing to do. He's got some thinking to do, and recalibrating emotionally and mentally. And we just received a donation from Brian. Thank you so much, Brian, for your donation. Let me go ahead and add you. Yeah, he's needing to recalibrate, and it's a good thing you don't work with him. But yeah, I'd give it a couple days and just see, because you want to make sure that they're interested as well. You're so welcome, Sammy. You're very welcome, love. I don't know if I've read for you before. Your name doesn't look familiar. I might have read for you in the past. YouTube changed things up recently. They changed people's usernames to their @usernames. So a lot of people have been coming back that I've been doing this for 5 years, and they'll be like, "No, you know me," and I'm like, "Wait, oh no, that's a different username." Thank you so much again, Sammy. Thank you, love. Brian, I just need to run to the kitchen really quick. I will be right back, and we will commence with your reading. It is the first. This was the first reading I did for you. Oh well, thank you so much for joining the channel, love. Thank you. I really appreciate you, and I hope I brought you clarity, love. Thank you. And Brian, I will be right back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. And we are back. Thank you so much for waiting, Brian. All right, did Casey and my grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Let's see. Oh yeah. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandfather's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandfather's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandfather's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Did Casey and Brian's grandpa's book have anything to do with Shyla's death? Let's see, Bry Guy. Let's see. Ooh. Five of Pentacles reversed. Ten of Wands reversed. The Lovers reversed. King of Swords. And Three of Swords reversed. No, I don't think so. At all. No. Not at all. No. No. And I don't think that, well, two things. Do I think that Casey tried to intentionally cause Shyla's passing through your grandfather's book? No. I don't think he did. But if he did, which I don't think he did, if he did, and I was actually thinking about this when I was shuffling the cards, if that was the case, which I do not believe it is at all, if that was the case, your grandfather's book would not have allowed for that. I know your grandfather's book is like really, really dynamic and like really, I don't even know what the word special, like it doesn't even touch the surface. Esoterically, it's esoterically very, very wise and just with this King of Swords. There's obviously a lot of incredible information in it, very powerful information. But I don't think, I firmly disbelieve that was or has ever or was Casey's intention. Do I think he's a good guy? No, I don't. But that wasn't the question. But I don't think. And when I say do I think he's a good, like, would I put it past him to like try and hurt someone or end someone's life? I don't know. I don't think he's that bad. I know he's bad, but I don't think he's that evil. And I'm seeing this with this Five of Pentacles reversed, this Ten of Wands reversed especially. This Ten of Wands reversed. He does utilize your grandpa's book, but it was not, he did not utilize it for that purpose. And what I like about this Five of Pentacles reversed, as I just said to you, he does utilize and go through your grandpa's book like quite a bit. He knows its value as well. But the beautiful thing is, your grandpa is still with us. You know that. I mean, he's not with us on this earthly realm, but you know he's watching. You know he's watching over you. He would not allow Casey. He would not allow the knowledge that he was given to end the life of someone who you loved and appreciated and valued. That's this King of Swords here. So yeah, Casey's definitely used your grandpa's book and continues to do so. Has it been effective? No. This 5 of Pentacles reverse, 10 of Wands reverse. It's not working for him. And that takes me back to what I just said, is I think your grandpa is protecting that from, I think your grandpa is protecting that knowledge from him. Even though the knowledge is there and he can read it, the actual power behind it and its efficacy is something that he's actively preventing. And I see that here with the Lovers reversed. This Casey guy, he's a discordant person. He's not a good guy. We know this. And I'm not in any position to call someone good or bad, but the guy just has dark energy surrounding him. And yeah, he has tried. He has tried to break hearts. He's tried to disappoint people. He's tried to, he's tried to ruin people's lives. I don't think he's tried to end anyone's life. I sincerely don't think he's gone that far. But he has tried to utilize this for dark. And my hand is still stuck on this King of Swords. This is your grandpa. This is your grandpa preventing that. Like, yeah, you've got this book. You're reading this stuff. Read away, man. Read away. But nothing that you say or do or read is going to manifest with your energy. This was a theft from his grandson. That book was yours. And he still watches over you, still watches over your book, watches and knows that Casey has it, and knows that Casey refers to it a lot. And Casey feels like, here's the other thing, is I think Casey feels like he has agency and power with this book, but he doesn't. I'm telling you, he does not. And on that note, not only does he not have the power, he's on such a low vibrational level, and you're so protected by your grandfather. But beyond, so I'm just telling you, like, whatever he's reading or whatever he's trying to incant with your grandfather's book, it hasn't worked and it's not going to work. And furthermore, I tell this to a lot of people. Anyone who comes to me asking, did someone put a curse on me? Anyone asking, did someone, or like your question, did Casey use my grandfather's book to end Shyla's life? We're talking about magic, we're talking about spell work here. And I don't want to call it spiritual, but magical agency. That agency, if we give that if you feel like Casey has power with this book, I want to just reassure you that he doesn't. But if you continue to believe that, it won't change anything in like actual real life. But if you do feel like if you do give him agency in the sense that you feel that with that book he can do certain things, then that has a threat of warping energy. Not in the sense that he will have power, that he won't. But he's going to continue doing rat bastard things. He's just not a very good person at all. But it's not attributed to your grandfather's book. Your grandfather is protecting you there. Is preventing Casey from having any power or agency with that book. Any like let's use an analogy. Let's pretend that the book is a hammer. He could hammer away all the live long day with that hammer of your grandpa's, that imaginary hammer that I'm just making up, and he would never manage to get a nail. He would never hammer anything. Like nothing, it just wouldn't work. Like it won't work. But if you start to believe that he does have some power and does have some agency with this book, then it's giving him, you're essentially giving him a sense of reverence that not only does he not deserve, but in giving him that reverence or believing that he has some agency, while it's not related to your grandfather, future things that he might do could be amplified if you feel that he does have that power. I don't practice spell work. There's only 3 spells that I suggest, and one of them is similar to what I want to suggest to you, which is return to sender. Deny. I mean, I see it right here. Your grandpa is like at the gate. Like, nope, nothing that you read from here is going to work for you, man. Like, your grandfather's book is very, very legitimate, but it's only going to work for the right people. And as I mentioned, he's watching over, and he's going to prevent that from happening. So that is what I'm seeing. It's got to be tough because you've known Casey for so long, but I would just do my very, very best to, even though he has your grandpa's book, and that's the hardest thing is he has your grandpa's book, but I would just do my very, very best to really eradicate him from your life. Very, very bad, low vibrational energy, dark energy, and thank God, thank your grandpa that he's protecting the power of this book from Casey. But also don't give Casey any agency. Don't believe that he has any agency, because he doesn't. And the less power that you give him and attribute to him, the less I don't want to say the less evil and bad deeds he'll do, but he's digging himself in a hole. and his karma is getting back to him, and his life is not great, and it's just going to get worse, and he deserves his karma. He deserves his karma. That it's awful that he took your grandpa's book. I'm still, yeah, so sorry. It's just awful. But yeah, just very, very dark energy. But no, he did that. He did not have anything to do with her passing. But yeah, so that's. I mean, she still passed, and that's still tragic. But it was not him. But in asking the question, we've discovered that while he has this book, it's essentially useless to him. I think that he thinks that he has some kind of power, which is ridiculous because he's reading such dynamic things that he's believing that things are starting to manifest in his life in positive ways. And whenever I read for him, I don't know how well you know about his life, but whenever I read for him, the energy is just so low, and it's just like things are not good for him. And the more that he engages in this kind of stuff, the worse it'll get. So, thank you so much, Brian. I really appreciate you, my friend, and I hope I brought you clarity there. And really hope you get your book back, but I also just really hope that Casey just out of your life, you know, just forget about that person. It's just hard to do. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Brian. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so it looks like we are all caught up with donations. I've been on for almost 3 hours, so we're going to do a last call tonight for any and all donations. If you have a question that you would like me to answer for you this evening, I would be more than happy to do so. Just send in your donation within the next 3 minutes, and we can commence with your reading, or just let me know in the chat that you have a question. But it is last call tonight for any and all donations. Thank you. You did, girl. I'm so sorry. You know, I got a new phone, and for some reason, I was getting my notifications a couple nights ago. Tonight, I haven't been getting them for some reason. Give me a minute. Let me type another super chat. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And thank you so much. Thank you so much, J Sweet. J Sweet donated like almost half an hour ago. So we are going to start with her. Yes, Miss Natalie, thank you so much. Please go ahead and post your question. Thank you. Sorry about that. I need to figure out this device. Had some kind of silly fight altercation. I thought we were joking, but he must have taken it hard due to not speaking to me in 2 months. What is he thinking about? Does he wish to end our friendship? What is his name, love? What's this person's name? Okay, and oh, his name's Robert. And what's his sign and what is your sign? I thought we were doing it in this hard to not spoken to us. What is he thinking about? Does he wish to end our friendship? You're a Sag and you think he's a Pisces. Okay, let's see. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. Does Robert want to end his friendship with Natalie? The Chariot reversed, Six of Cups reversed, Queen of Pentacles reversed, Four of Swords, and Two of Wands. No. He doesn't want to end the friendship. I think you said you've been friends, for years. Okay. He was really hurt though. Whatever was said did hurt him, but there's more to it than that. He's also going through some things right now. Like he's more sensitive. And that's likely why I'm getting the sense that whatever you said to each other or whatever you said to him that hurt his feelings. You said you were joking. I totally believe you. Or you thought that the two of you were joking. So it was like regular, like the way that the two of you guys talk, you know? But at this time, or at that time, he's right now he's more sensitive. He was more sensitive then. It was simply a joke where I was asking him to play a game with me, and somehow he got super mad at me. Yeah. It's less about you and more about him, love. He asking, was a bit more like asking him several times. Yeah. He doesn't want to end the friendship. In a friendly manner. Yeah. He doesn't want to end the friendship, but I will tell you, he's going through a lot right now. This Queen of Pentacles reversed. He's exhausted in his life right now. I don't know if you're aware, but there's a lot he's going through. I don't know if it's a lot, if he has an extra heavy load of work right now, or family issues, or car issues, or all of the above. But there are a lot of things that he's going through, and things that he would likely have normally shared with you in the past, but it's like all crashing down on him at once right now. Things are not the same in his life as they have been in the past. There's been a tower moment for him with this Six of Cups reversed. The communication has come to a halt, not permanently. With this Four of Swords, this is what tells me that he doesn't want to end the friendship, but he has, and the Chariot reverse. He's taking a pause. He's taking a step back. He does intend on keeping the friendship. It's not something that he wants to lose. It's not something that he wants to end. But so while what you said did miff him a bit, I think it was more he he's in a very sensitive place, and he's kind of in hermit mode right now. With this Four of Swords and Two of Wands, he's taking a step back. The Chariot reversed, he's taking a step back. I don't think he's talking to a whole lot of people. I don't think he's talking to many of his friends. There's a lot on his plate right now. And how do I put this? I don't want to say that he used that the joke as an excuse to take a step back, but I kind of feel that way. I think I know he's going through a whole lot, and he was going through a whole lot at that time when you made that joke. And he was already on the fence, or not on the fence, but thinking about, like, I need some space. There's so much that I need to process right now in my life. He's overwhelmed. He's really overwhelmed. Queen of Pentacles reversed, and like I said, it's way less to do with you and mostly to do with him and what he's dealing with right now, the things that he's dealing with. So I don't see this coming to an end. It felt like it was an excuse, or that I got the big hit from his emotional. Yeah. I feel that way. I do. I think he wasn't as offended as he said or acted as he was, because you know each other, and you know his sense of humor, and you know where he's comfortable, and you know where he's not. But he had been thinking about it, like, I need to take a step back, not just from you, but from other people too. He's just way overwhelmed. But does he still see a future with you? Absolutely. He still sees you on his horizon. Yeah. He doesn't. And the Chariot reverse is telling me this is just a step back. Four of Swords, the Chariot reverse, and then these two cards are telling me he's going through a hell of a lot. Yeah, I did not see any reason to be reacting like that. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. He went off the deep end. And you know him well enough where it was just like, yeah, it raised an eyebrow for you. Like, okay, that's something we would have joked about in the past. Why is this insulting to you now? And to this level, 2 months of no communication. Yeah, I feel like it was an excuse as well, to take a step back. But good news is I don't think this break is going to be for much longer. He still wants to be friends with you and intends on reaching out to you again once things have settled more in his life. And I don't see that. I get the sense that it's not going to take too long. I'm very honest. I don't know if I've read for you before, but I'm very brutally honest. What I see, I say. And if I felt like it was going to take, like, a year or 2 years for him to reach out to you, I'd tell you. This feels more like you'll probably hear from him at the very latest end of summer, and that's at the very latest. You have, I believe it's my 3rd time. Oh, okay. Maybe you might have a different username. I was just telling another client that earlier. I have been not recognizing people because YouTube changed people's usernames on the chat to their @ usernames. So I have returning clients. They're like, you've read for me before. Like, how come you don't remember me? So it's probably a different name, or I don't know. But thank you so much, Natalie. Your name rings a bell. Yeah, last time it was about my writing. Oh, Natalie. Yes. Duh. Yes, Natalie. I remember you, girl. Yes, you're the writer. You're the one who is writing the fantasy romance novel. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, so yeah, those damn usernames. And then sometimes they show up different if people use SuperChat too. It's weird. I don't know. Yes, I remember you. I know you, love. I believe I've read for you more than 3 times. Quite a few times, I think. Yeah. So good news. Friendship's not over. He's going through it. He's going through it. I'm not making excuses for him. I'm not saying it's right, but it's what he needs right now, and yeah, it's nothing you did or said. He's trying to make it seem like it was, but it was that he was looking for a reason to take a break that he could in a way that he would be able to return to you. You know, if he wanted to end things completely, I think he would have done it then and there as well. I don't think he would have prolonged things. Four of Swords, that's genuinely break time, like taking a step back. Good to hear, but I'm slightly offended since I'm usually the one who's helping, listening to him, always there for him. Yeah, and I don't know. You said you guys have been friends for years, and I don't know how, and I don't know how many years, but I hate that. That's I've had that experience. I think we all have, but I'm having it. It's so weird tonight. All the readings I've done, I'm like, are you guys all living my life too? I'm dealing with this too. I'm dealing with a friend, same deal, where I feel like I'm always there for them and always listening to them, but it's like not reciprocated. Sometimes it is, but it can be frustrating, and it I have to remind myself it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't value you or care about you as much. It's oftentimes just the way people express themselves. But if it ends up feeling like really imbalanced to the point where you almost feel like he's just using you for your good graces, then I would reevaluate things. Okay, that's sad to hear. It's hard when people come just when they need something. I don't think that's the case. I don't think he's no. I don't think he's I don't think he's using you as a friend. I don't think that's the reason why he's friends with you. I don't think it's like, oh, I'm going through crap, I'm gonna call Natalie right now. I don't think it's like that. I just think you have a higher level of empathy and care, inherent caretaking, helping, like intuitive actions. You're more intuitive in caring for people and listening than he is. Some people are just really bad listeners. Some people are sometimes they're uncomfortable talking about other people's issues. It's people are unique. People are all different. But I'm sure he brings you good things in your friendship as well. He better if he's not serving you in any way. If he's not, if you do feel like the only time he ever calls you is when he's going through stuff, that might be something to evaluate and think about. But I don't think it's that. I think he genuinely really values you, and it's more just a lack of his abilities there. But yeah, that is what I am seeing for you, Miss Natalie. Thank you so much for your donation, love. I really appreciate you, and it's good to see you again. And yeah, I hope I brought you clarity, and I hope he reaches out sooner than later. You're welcome, love. You're very, very welcome. All right. So, for those of you who are still watching, I don't know if Brian's still here. He said he had a question, but I didn't see, so he might have checked out. But it is last call, second last call for donations. If you have a question that you would like me to answer for you, I am here and more than happy to read for you. Last call, everybody, for donations. If you would like your question answered, just send in your donation or just type in the chat, hey, I'm gonna donate, I got a question. Last call, baby dolls. Tonight was very, very interesting. Like almost all of the readings I did bore some semblance to my life at its current time. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations. Thank you very, very much. Last call for donations. Last call, everybody. Last call for all donations. Thank you. Last call, everybody. Last call tonight for all donations. If you got a question, let me know now and we can commence with your reading. Last call. All right. Looks like everyone is happy and taken care of tonight. Thank you all so very, very much. Much love and light to all of you. And I will see you guys tomorrow.